Hey everyone, what is going on? So we're using the same team, the same powerful team, and I wanted to show you a lot of battles that I had where I just kept on winning for the most part. It was crazy. I just kept on winning with this team, and my current rating is actually 2989. So it is possible that I do reach rank 10 before you see this video. Hopefully, I'll probably do my videos or battles at night tonight and get to rank 10. And if I do, I'll have my rank 10 footage in additional videos. But whatever. The point is, we did really well to gain almost 200 points. I mean, not quite 200, but we're almost ranked 10. That's how crazy it is, guys. This team definitely helping out. Now, I was thinking of dropping the Togekiss for Dialga because I hate when Togekiss gets lined up with a steel type like Melmetal or Metagross. So I might try that, but overall, this team is really fantastic. Love leading with the Giratina. As I said, it has so many positive matchups. And one thing I didn't mention in the last video, obviously, Giratina is going to lose really hard to a Snorlax. I don't see many Snorlax leads, though. I think I saw one out of all of my battles, but most of them I don't. Most of the time I don't see Snorlax leads. If they have Snorlax, generally it's in the back. But going up against a rank 10 player, he is using that beautiful shiny Mewtwo against my Origin form Giratina. Now, this is a favorable matchup, but the thing is, you do have to watch out for the Ice Beam, and even Side Strike does a lot of damage. He does pull a nice switch into Dialga to catch that, so I'm going to switch into my Melmetal, charging up enough, going straight for that superpower. I do have enough back-to-back, and that will not be shielded, and I thought I would be able to get to another one before he got to a charge move. Unfortunately, I couldn't. So that does more damage to me than it would have done if I waited for him to get the Draco Meteor first. So usually I do like to do that, as I've mentioned in my previous video. But that time I was hoping maybe to get off back-to-back before he even got off a Draco Meteor. But either way, we won the lead. So I'm going to bring in my Togekiss. And Togekiss is going to have a fantastic time against this Giratina. If it was a Dialga, that would also have a fantastic time against Giratina. Unfortunately, he actually got the boost. But we're still going to be okay despite him getting that boost. Crazy enough, right? So I'm going to go for that Ancient Power. It is shielded. He does want to protect that boosted Giratina. It makes sense. So I am... Do I shield? No, I do not. Okay, I'm going to allow Togekiss to go down. Bring in my own Giratina to farm down the opposing Giratina. Out comes Mewtwo. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this. A Side Strike, that would almost take me out. Going to go ahead and go for the Ominous Wind. He has to use his Blast Shield. There's no doubt about it. He does. And I'm trying to get to one more. Now, if this was like an Ice Beam, it would knock me out. Side Strike, not going to be enough to knock me out. It comes close, but we're able to get to an Ominous Wind. So despite him getting the boost, we're still actually able to pull off that win. Crazy enough. So another reason why I love this team. So let's see. My Giratina versus Melmetal, another huge match for us. As I said, a lot of people love me leading Melmetal. And honestly, I don't think it's a bad lead. But a lot of people just do it, and obviously that's beautiful for Giratina. So he is going to go ahead, or she's going to go ahead and get off a charge attack. Going to be that Draco Meteor, totally fine. We could take it. And now we can just go back-to-back superpowers. And by the way, guys, I do not bluff when it comes to this. I don't go for Rock Slide, I just go straight superpower, because most of the time my opponent does not block, because they know they could take a superpower anyway. Occasionally they do. I have, some players have blocked, but, most of the time I find that they don't. So I'm going to bring in my Togekiss to farm down. Switching into Melmetal, I immediately switch into Origin to catch this Rock Slide. I do not want to catch that Rock Slide with my Togekiss, so Origin form is going to be able to catch it. Shadow Ball goes into Melmetal. That will be shielded. I could have bluffed there, but, just in case she decided not to shield. So I think I am going to bluff now. I do go for the Ominous Wind, hoping to get the last shield. We do get it. So now I just want to go for a Shadow Ball. But I have to pay attention to the switch time because I know she's going to switch. There she goes. I'm switching into Togekiss to catch this Sand Tomb. Melmetal does not want to meet a Sand Tomb at all. Togekiss, on the other hand, wants to. So I knew she was going to switch to try and get the Sand Tomb against my Melmetal. I was not going to allow it to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and knock out that Machamp. In comes Melmetal. We got that Flamethrower ready to go. This is going to be enough to melt that Melmetal. And that was a really fantastic game. Really well played to my opponent. I had a great time in that battle. So let's jump into another game against another ranked 10 player, and let's see what happens. So this is a terrible lead for us, right? We do have to bail. As I said, I still have pretty much much good amount of success with leads. So they switch into Machamp. Now you would think Machamp is strong against Melmetal, and it is, right? It definitely is. But we got the lead. I mean, not the lead. We got the energy advantage. So he's going to go ahead and shield that. We get off another superpower. So ultimately, yes, that Machamp will beat us. But if we got both of those superpowers off against the Machamp, it would be super low, even possibly even knock it out if we got the excellent on both of them. I'm not really too sure. But, you know, so even Melmetal can even handle Pokemon that it's weak to, right? So Togekiss comes in, finishes the job. Now we have a mirror match. And keep in mind, they did use a shield to protect that Machamp, which was amazing. Now they're going to burn their last shield, which is good for us. And I believe she just tries to farm, or he tries to farm me down, which he does. And then I bring in Giratina. I'm going to go ahead and let this go through. I know I can take Ancient Power just fine. We don't have to worry about it. In comes an altered form Giratina. I don't see those too much, but I see them occasionally. And now he is going to be out of shield, so I'm going to go ahead and just get off the Shadow Ball. And we just have to... So, okay, I'm going to be able to take this Dragon Claw, and my goal is to just farm down this altered form Giratina, have enough for a Shadow Ball or Ominous Wind to knock out the Togekiss, and we're going to go ahead and take that win. So that was a good game. You saw we lost the lead. That was a fantastic game. Well played by my opponent, but we were still able to win it. So next up is Giratina Mirror Match. So let's see what happens in the Mirror Match. So I'm just charging up. I haven't been bluffing in this situation. Most of my players do shield most of my opponents, so maybe bluffing with the Ominous Wind is probably a better way to go. But occasionally they don't, though. So I guess you could definitely bluff with Ominous Wind. I am going to go for the Ominous Wind now. I expected him to commit the second shield, and he does. So he's going to go ahead and go for the charge attack. So I will shield this one up. Now keep in mind, I do have the best buddy boost, so I will be able to win CMP. And I'm just... but he pulls a really nice switch into Togekiss. I didn't even realize that he switched into Togekiss. That was a beautiful switch, but that allows me to just switch into my Melmetal. Now I can farm down Togekiss. It's not going to get to a Flamethrower. We have energy to go. I saw what came in. Going to be... I believe that Giratina came back in. Yeah, just going to go for Rock Slide and knock it out. In comes the opposing Melmetal. He's going to run away from the game. So good game to my opponent. So let's jump into the next game. And it's going to be Kyogre versus my Giratina. So that's an amazing lead. Switching into Latios. Okay, I make a mistake. I go into Melmetal. Why did I not go into Togekiss? It's going to resist Dragon Breath. It resists Dragon Claw. I should have 100%... I thought that was going to cost me this game. I mean, Melmetal is still able to beat Latios, but I should have 100% went into Togekiss and saved my Melmetal for later, and Togekiss would have had a fantastic time farming down that Latios. So that was a terrible play on my end. And it almost does... I do win this game, but it almost cost me that game. So we are going to knock out the Latios. In comes this Kyogre. So, okay, we'll go ahead and go for the Rock Slides. It adds up. He's trying to farm me down. We do get one more Rock Slide, which is good. I do want to get damage off against that Kyogre. As we do. So it is pretty weak. I go for Ominous Wind immediately. I don't want to be hit with any charge moves. I just want to knock out Kyogre, but he does go ahead and shield it. Now he's going to go for his charge move. I knew he had enough for Blizzard at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and shield. And then switching into that Melmetal. So this is why I should have went into Togekiss against Latios earlier, because now I have the Togekiss in the back against the Melmetal, which is not good. I'd rather have the... I'd rather have the Melmetal in the back against the Melmetal instead of the Togekiss. You see what I'm saying? So definitely a bad play on my end. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was a really bad play, but it's okay because we're going to go for the Shadow Ball. We're going to get as much damage as possible against this Melmetal. We want to lower it and soften it up as much as we can. So Giratina goes down, and we bring in Togekiss, and we're going to be able to take a Rock Slide, a Thunderbolt, whatever it is a Rock Slide, and we're going to be able to knock out that Melmetal and then knock out the Kyogre. So we still win, but it was really risky. We would have won more comfortably had we done it earlier. So if that makes sense to you guys. So the next matchup is going to be a beautiful shiny purple Kyogre against my Giratina. He switches into a Purified Snorlax. I'm switching into my Melmetal. So I'm going to go ahead and go for I'm just going to go straight for the superpowers. I want to try and knock out this Snorlax. This is not going to be enough to knock out Snorlax. Snorlax is such a tank, but he does shield, so that's definitely good for us. I think I called it bait. No, I don't. Never mind. It is the bait, so unfortunately I didn't call it. This one I figured was 100% going to be a body slam. It's actually a superpower, so that was a nice play on his end. I was just assuming it had Earthquake, but superpower is good as well. He's going to go ahead and go for the body slam. I'm going to let Melmetal go. It's okay. We lose that matchup. So he did take control of the game, but I bring in my Origin Form Giratina, and we're able to farm up energy and go for the Shadow Ball against this Dialga. Gonna do a lot of damage, and then switching into my Togekiss. So this is good for me. He's gonna be able to get off an Iron Head, absolutely, but I could shield it up. And then he switches into Kyogre. I'm gonna go for the Ancient Power, hoping for the boost, right? We definitely want the boost. And he actually shielded. We don't get the boost, but at least we get a shield. He's trying to farm me down, I think. Maybe he decides he couldn't farm me down. I would have gotten to an Ancient Power, I think. But he actually undercharges that Surf. That Surf should have knocked me out. But because of that, that allows me to get the Ancient Power. And he brings in Dialga, and I bring in my Origin Form. And this Ominous Wind is going to be able to knock him out, and we're going to be able to take that game. So it was a really good game. Able to win that one. So well played. Jumping into my next opponent, I've seen him featured, I believe, on King's channel. So he wins the lead. This is a terrible lead for me. I'm going to switch into my Melmetal, which is my safe switch. He switches into Kyogre. Now the thing about Kyogre is that Melmetal with an energy advantage is going to be able to beat Kyogre, unless if Kyogre shields, and I don't shield. I don't think I shield in this matchup. But if he didn't shield, we would have been able to knock out that Kyogre. So it's not a bad matchup for me. I probably should have shielded that, but I decided not to. That's okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Rock Slide, do as much damage as possible. Bringing in my Origin Form. I knew this was not a Blizzard, so we're going to be hit with a Surf. And we're able to take it. And my goal at this point, just to farm down the Kyogre. So, okay, let's see what decides to come in. Let's see what he has. Going to be a Dialga. Of course the Dialga comes in, so I'm going to go ahead and go for my Shadow Ball, doing a lot of damage, and then he's going to go ahead and go for his charge attack, so at least we take his we take his energy. I was hoping Melmetal was not in the back, and it was, so I just back out of the game because I knew it was over. So good game to my opponent. So we're going to jump into the next match. It's going to be my Giratina versus his Heatran, and this is definitely a favorable matchup for me. So we're going to go straight Shadow Ball. Again, I usually now, especially since Ominous Wind was nerfed, it takes longer to get to. I just don't bluff. Bringing in Togekiss, Melmetal is going to have a field day. We're going to go ahead and just go straight for that Rock Slide. It's not going to be enough to knock it out, but it does a lot of damage. And we're trying to get to another one. We do get to it. I could have charged up more energy. And I had thought about it, but I decided I didn't want him to get to a Flamethrower, and he was there, as you could see. But that's okay, because now we took a shield from him. So I'm actually okay with that, and now we could farm down the Togekiss. So we do farm it down. We're loaded with energy. I was going for Rock Slide because I was expecting the Heatran to come in. I will commit my last shield and go for that Rock Slide. Honestly, I thought this would be enough to knock him out. It is. And then he brings in his Giratina, so that's okay. Just going for Rock Slides. Going for Rock Slides. At this point, we're going to switch into my own Giratina. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Ominous Wind against the Giratina. He does shield it. I did do that because I wanted to get away. I wanted to get his shield away. Instead of bringing Togekiss in, I just wanted to take that shield first. So, okay, we took it away. We took his energy, and now we're going to be able to feint his Origin Form with Togekiss. So, good game to my opponent. And let's see, we're going up against another rank 10 player. You could tell we're so close to rank 10. So this is a terrible lead for me. Let's see how we handle it. We switch into Melmetal, switching into Swampert. So that's actually a really good answer to Melmetal. I don't see Swampert that much in Master League, but it's still a good answer to it. However, at least we could fight back, right? We do have superpowers, so that's going to take a shield from him. So even though Swampert is a good answer to Melmetal, we could still fight back with like superpower or other Rock Slide against like Kyogre. So we're still. That's why I love it as a safe switch. You know, even against Machamp, the superpowers are doing a lot of damage. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Ominous Wind. That will not be enough to knock out. That's okay. This is what I expect to be a Hydro Cannon. It's not. It's an Earthquake, so nice play on his end. And then he switches into Dialga. I'm bringing in my Togekiss. Going to go ahead and shield up this attack. It's going to be an Iron Head. I do not want to take that. I was hoping to be able to feint him before he got to another one, but unfortunately not the case. So I will shield this. And my plan is now to farm down the Dialga, and now I have energy to use I didn't have to use the energy on the Dialga, so let's see what decides to come in. Going to be a Giratina against my Togekiss. Perfect. So let's go for that Ancient Power. Let's hope for the boost, honestly. We do get a shield, which is nice, and actually we have another Ancient Power, so I'll go ahead and use it. No boost, that's okay. Let's see what charge attack he does have. It's going to be a Shadow Sneak, so that's fine. And then I pull the switch and go in for Ominous Wind immediately. So that is not going to be enough to knock out, but he used his energy as well. It looked like a CMP tie. So he'll be able to knock me out, but at least we got the Ominous Wind off, and we could feint, and then we could feint Swamp, and we actually win that despite that bad lead. So as you can see, guys, we're still able to win games even when we lose the lead. This team, I love it. So leading Giratina versus Rhyperior. So this is interesting, and this is generally, like, I've faced this a few times. I've faced Rhyperior. So again, I just go straight Shadow Ball. He does shield it, not wanting to take that damage. Now, usually I don't shield this attack, because if it's a bluff, that's great. If it's a Rock Wrecker, we could still take it. So, it was a Rock Wrecker. I could have shielded it, right? I could have shielded it. It did do a lot of damage, but I decided not to. But, again, we still have energy for whatever's in the back now. So I'm going to go ahead and go straight Superpowers against the Snorlax. He does shield it. Totally fine. That's both of his shields, so that's actually pretty good. I would say he is down 2 shields. We'll have to see. This is going to be Body Slam. It's not going to be Earthquake or Superpower. Luckily for us, I am going to go ahead and go for another Superpower. Wishing I could hit those Excellence. He's going to go for a Charge Attack. This is going to be another Body Slam, but again, we're able to take it. He brings the Rhyperior to knock me out, so nice play. But we have the Giratina with very little health, but enough to get off a Shadow Ball. And then I switch into Togekiss so we could feint down the Rhyperior. We still have 2 shields. Still have 2 shields, and my opponent actually runs. Maybe he had like a Dragon type or something. But good game to my opponent. Again, another lost lead. Let's see if we can pull this one off. We don't pull them all off, but anyway, my opponent switches. So, okay, into Heatran. So this is not you would think this is a bad matchup, but because we have Superpower, it's not that bad, but you do have to use a shield. So we're going to get off that Superpower. We just need one more. We're going to go for the Rock Slide, hoping that it would actually be enough to knock it out. And he does shield it, so despite him being a Fire type, this is actually a pretty good matchup for us. He does shield it, so we take both of his shields. We actually would have won that lead if he didn't shield. Like, he committed 2 shields, so I'm actually really happy about that, even though we lost the lead. So now I just want to farm down Heatran. He does get off another charge move, but we could take an Iron Head. We could definitely take a Flamethrower, so it is going to be Iron Head. And then I click on Shadow Ball, and he pulls a switch. A really impressive switch into Dialga, though. So at least we're able to do a lot of damage to it. He does get off an Iron Head. Was hoping I could feint him before that, but not the case. Totally fine. We are able to feint down the Dialga. In comes Togekiss, and I am going to go ahead and go for my Ancient Power. So this Ancient Power, going to do a decent amount. We don't get a boost, and we're out of shield, so we have to take this attack. Going to be another Ancient Power, and he's going to be able to feint us. Okay, we bring in Giratina. We do feint him down. Unfortunately, we just can't get to that Ominous Win. So he does win that. So obviously, you're not going to win every game, especially if you lose the lead. But it was a good game. So the next matchup, we're going up against the Shiny Mewtwo. So again, favorable for us, but watch out for like the Ice Beam. So this is going to just be a Side Strike. Most Mewtwo's, I think, are probably going to be carrying Side Strike. And I don't know what other move. I don't know. I guess it could be Ice Beam. It probably is, honestly. But we're going to go ahead and shield this because that would have been enough to knock us out. And I want to try and win the lead. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Ominous Wind. He will shield that. So he did commit his second shield. And he's going to go ahead and get off a charge attack. So I'm going to follow suit and commit a second shield as well. And I just feint him with Fast Moves. So we have a decent amount of health left. In comes Metagross. And then he switches to catch the Shadow Ball into his Machamp. So that was a beautiful play. So I switched into Togekiss, which honestly, that wasn't really that good of a play because now he's able to farm me up with Metagross. So I'm actually losing my Togekiss because of that. So that I shouldn't have probably brought in. I don't know. I should have probably stayed in. I don't know. Metagross does give this team a little bit of trouble. But anyway, we have the Melmetal ready to go, charging up for 2 Superpowers, although 1 would have been enough, so I was kind of kicking myself just not going for 1. However, we still survived that Earthquake. I knew we would, and we're going for the Superpower, and as you can see, 1 is enough. So we still win that one. So it was a really good game, really well played on my opponent's end. So let's jump into another one, Giratina versus Rhyperior. So very interesting. Rhyperior with Rock Wreck is really good. And one that I might want to consider. He switches though, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same and switch into my Melmetal. And he's going to go ahead and go for that charge attack. Again, I just let it go through. First of all, technically, if it's a bait, that's fantastic. Most of the time, they're not going to bait, but occasionally I have seen baits, but I just don't fall for it. So he will actually shield. So I was actually surprised because we are able to get to a superpower, another one. And he's going to shield again. I guess he wants to win the lead, so that makes sense. But at least we do have the shield advantage. So he switches into Rhyperior, and I pull the switch into my Origin form. And for some reason, I go for the Ominous Wind. I have no idea why. Don't even ask me, guys. I have no idea why. That was a mistake. I should have 100% went for. I go for it again, but now at least he's lower. So that's not going to knock him out. Then I farm him down, which was my ultimate goal. He brings in Snorlax, though. So I thought I was going to win this one. I was on track to win it. And then I see a Snorlax. And I'm like, uh-oh, we got to get our Origin form out of here. Into Togekiss. He does go for a Body Slam. I do shield this one. That was a mistake. You know why? Because he still has his Dialga, which I didn't realize. I thought I had fainted his Dialga. So because of that, we're definitely going to lose this one. So good game to my opponent. He played really well. I thought we were going to win it, but he played really well. So that's okay. He's going to be able to knock out my Togekiss. And then my Giratina is going to... my Giratina goes. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video, guys. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.